I know this really strange, but recently I noticed that I'm not only one in the garage, that someone here also with me, but not to scare me, maybe to guide me.
Patrick's garage.
You know my old Volvo 1969, it was in family heirloom from generation to generation. My father-in-law owned this car and his uncle before was owner of this car, and also I know the previous owner before them who was. And thing is about this ghost that I noticed in the garage when I'm working with car, this really old car, and this car saves in prints of every approach which was something was done with this car, and by this car I can notice what was done, with which attitude this was done. When you see these electric wires was wrapped with electric tape or welding, quality of welding, what was done with this car before me, in which manner this repair was done before me, and I can communicate with my relatives. I see their attitude for this car. It's so strange, but sometimes I notice that he is still here, because this car was inherited car, and you know that previous owners from the cars, old cars, maybe someone was died from previous owners of this car. When you can buy old car, it happened with people. And really interesting if you can communicate with this ghost which lives in the car. It's really interesting. I can designate who lost, but I found coins. It's so strange under the seat, and by these clues you can guess where this car was before you. So if you notice the ghost in the garage, maybe this ghost here not haunting you, maybe he want to help you in your repair, or maybe he want to sure that you do it right. You can notice how it was done before, which manner he used. Sure, it will be not the ghost like we know from movies, without chains rattling, without these strange shadows. This ghost, like we see that something was done quality, and this we can notice only in old cars, of course, really hard to find something similar in modern cars. And as I mentioned before, this car was in my family for generation. And more than this, I know previous owner of this car. And he told me the story. One day, he just stayed on the crosswalk, and nothing wrong, but police car hit him to the rear part, and tail light was broken, rear fenders also they were squashed, and he decided to solve this car. And my uncle of my father-in-law, he bought this car, but he not decided that he want to repair this car, and he wanted to avoid this repair. But my father-in-law, he bought this car and he repaired this car. And these damages on the rear end of the car, they noticeable even today. If you look inside of the trunk, you can notice these damaged, how they were restored. And this can be often with old car. When you repair something, you can feel that someone already been here and nothing outrageous. It so happened that old car has its own history. What was done before you, how it was repaired. And really hard to find in old car untouched areas. But I want to admit that a lot of them in old Volvos, because not required to repair everything and a lot of heads of bolts which obviously they were not touched by a wrench. Of course, you can notice that anybody, your own ghost of your old car, can observing during the process of repair, and he can think that you work in another manner, but in olden days they did in different manner, different ways. They can't order spare parts, so easiest way like we can do, we can find this right now. We can find this valuable information for repair. It was really hard before, especially if you have no access to shop to go and buy. You can order online from the same guys, not from shop, maybe same guys in their garages. They can store their parts and they want to share their storage online with you. So now it's more easier than in the times of these ghosts, if you notice them in your classic car. So nothing wrong if you notice ghosts. I not think I can say that they can be aggressive and something will be thrown into you. It's not like in our days. People were not so aggressive. I'm inclined to believe that this was so because of quality of cars from 60s. We should admit that they were assembled by honest engineers, by honest workers. We can find a lot of information that people they scared by haunted houses, but nothing about haunted cars. Maybe cars get haunted too. I personally, when I communicate, when I repaired car and at the same time I'm communicate with previous owner on this level of this car, and this car I was not familiar with this owner, but I really felt how he said for me, you shouldn't stop. I bought this car for spare parts. I won't confess, I'm not wanted to repair anything because I know how it hard process, and I learned during restoration of my car 1969, and then I bought this green car. And every time when I closed the garage doors, he said me, not quit, not stop, because it was really hard. A lot of restoration was done with this car, and more easy to disassemble this car. Honestly, this is really so. But fuel tank, I'm replaced engine completely, brake system, interior, and this leakage from the sunroof always was wetty. A lot of work was done, but this ghost said me not quit. And this repair was like conversation with the person which started this restoration and not finished this, but I decided to finish this restoration. So it's like finishing what someone else started. If you can buy unfinished project, nothing wrong. A lot of them unfinished project. Unfortunately, people can't counting their own power can predict that this will be hard. This restoration project can be hard, but if it's really enjoyable, you can finish this project. If you really want, this is a pleasure for you. So you are able to finish this project and your car will in working condition and you're really glad a long period of time. We want to think that old cars and they have their own souls and they accumulated their history, their character, condition of car, where this car was, coins under the seat from foreign from neighbor country you can find and you can guess where this car, how long trips they prefer. And these long trips, this means this mileage you can't compare with mileage from city and this long distance car will be worn more in a city. Car will be more worn if it was used for city drivings. I don't know, I'm just shared with you, maybe I'm not alone with ghosts in the cars, so maybe you feel something similar, you can share with me your thoughts. I'm really curious about old cars. Or have you ever felt something strange related with your car? I'll catch you in the next one on Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Time. Thanks for your support.
Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Click the subscribe button and notifications bell, so that way you can be notified as soon as I upload new videos about car repairing.